Hey family, so I just want to tell you guys I love you. Now, I put out my first testimony. This is going to conclude the full testimony. This is part 2. I just kind of wanted to go more in depth about my testimony and about my life. So as I stated in my part 1 testimony, how I was raped and molested by men and women. And so let me get into that. So being young, okay, I was raped by a cousin. I was molested by a cousin, and I literally, when those things happened to me, I was hurt. I just didn't really know what to think, how to feel. And at some point, eventually, I seen him again, like up in my adult years. And but the thing is, though, I never been able to really get the heal from that, because when I was younger, this person would still just come around and come around. So every time this person came around, I was in more fear. And it was just packing on my heart. I had no idea how much and severe I was really traumatized by this person, because when I got older, I eventually ran into this person again, and I literally, everything in me, like, my body was shaking, my mind, like I was all over the place, and I was told that it was identified as a panic attack or whatever. So I never had got to really truly heal from that, because this person kept coming around, and it just traumatized me in a place that I had no idea that it would even affect me in that way. You get older, you think that things is smooth because you're not around that person, you don't see that person, but it traumatized me real bad, and I was still hurt by it, and I still had to live life with that. And God had allowed me to heal in that moment, telling me that I was not truly healed from what I thought I was healed from. So it took a little time for me, after seeing this person, to finally heal myself, like truly, because it took a lot out of me. This is a person that I trust. This is family, and like blood family. This is not like, oh, you're play cousin. This is blood family to me. So for that to have happened, and for it to have been me, I was just like, why me, God? Because I'm just here. I don't, I'm young. I'm not trying to go through stuff. I wasn't trying to go through that. I'm young. I'm just a kid, So yeah, that happened. And then I was even molested by a woman that was so close in our family. And when that happened, I was so confused with my life. I just didn't know who to trust anymore. I didn't want to be around men. I didn't want to be around women. I just wanted to simply be to myself, because I felt like, these are people that are close to me, and I feel like I could trust them, or my family feel like they could trust these people, that it would be it was just hard. Let me just put it that way. So at that point, I eventually started having trouble with my identity. Like, I didn't know if I was supposed to like women. I didn't know if I was supposed to like men, because these things were happening to me. And like I said, at that point, I just didn't know who to trust. I didn't know what to think. You can only imagine a young person going through all of this, right? And your mind is just like, who am I? Who am I? Who am I? Do I like girls? Do I like boys? Who am I? What do I like? What do I want? But I realized that hurt people. And not that they've probably done it intentionally to me, but it could have been something possibly that been done to them, that they just reacted, and I just happened to be that person that they did that to. And I had to learn. I had to, even growing up, I was afraid to talk to people. I didn't know how to talk to people. I wasn't social. I was very afraid every single day, most of my life, half of the time. Didn't know who to trust. Couldn't run and talk to nobody, because when I tried to bring up a couple of times of these things, it was like I got bashed for it. So I never brought it up again after that. I just kind of say to myself about it, but it was hard for me, because I'm battling in my mind mental. I tried to kill myself a couple times, because I felt like I didn't want to live life no more. I don't want to keep being touched on. I don't want to keep having to go through this. It was too much for me. It was a lot. I didn't want to go through that no more. You know what I'm saying? And then family, friends, and people just, coming in and out the house and around, and you got perverts, and I just felt like there was no life for me. I'm young and I'm just going through this, and don't nobody really care. Everybody telling me don't say nothing about it no more. Oh, that's not true. So it make you feel like you're nothing, because like, if I'm telling people that I love these things that's happening to me and you're not believing me, then what's the point? Well, why should I live here? Why should I be here? What is the purpose for me to be here? So one day, I had this all mapped out in my head. Like, I literally had got a towel and everything, and I'm like, I'm gonna wrap this around my neck and I'm gonna just jump out the window and then just let it go. And I just heard this voice just say no. It was calm, but it was loud enough for me to hear it. I just heard it no. And I felt the instant peace in my heart in that moment. I didn't know what it was, because I'm just like, oh, I'm about to take my life. I'm over this. I'm done with this. I'm not about to, I just can't do this anymore. Like, I'm just over it at this point. And I just heard it just said, no, don't. So I didn't. And then I tried to attempt to kill myself again before, a couple years after that, because I was in such a mental stage. I never got help for, being raped and molested and by people that are close to me. So it's like, I'm really like, oh, I'm not in a place where I could trust people. So I felt like I was paranoid about everything. Like, every time I turn around, I'm paranoid. So I tried to kill myself again, and then I heard that same voice. So I was like, okay, you know what? Whatever, I just have to deal with the life that I have and just keep going, just try to do the best that I can do. You know what I'm saying? And then, when you go through stuff like that and you're not truly healed, then as I started getting older to where I could be in relationships, I was getting dogged out, beat up, punched on, face bruised up. I'm lying, saying that I'm sick and I done hit my wall, and I'm talking about, I got beat up until I got beat almost to death, unconscious, like in the house, leaking blood. Nobody never knew about this. I never even spoke about this ever until now. And I've been through a lot of relationships with abusive, not a lot of relationships, but the relationships that I was in, it was so abusive and so intense. And then once I realized that wasn't for me, then I got into relationships where they were mentally abusive and vocally abusive. And I've stayed in a relationship for 3 and 4 years with a person that vocally abused me and just was a cheater and just lied, because I didn't know who I was. I didn't know my self-worth. I didn't know myself, because I was still trying to figure out all of these things that happened to me. I never got healed from that. So I'm just going from one thing to another thing. And it's such a disaster at this point, because it's like, I'm really lost out here. I'm really, really, really lost out here, to the point where I just don't know myself. I don't know what to do. I just don't know what to do no more. So after all of the relationships and the abuse and stuff like that, and not being able to read and stuff like that, going to high school and not being able to comprehend and understand certain things, and I feel like I was kind of slow in a way. And I'm not saying this in a disrespectful way, but I'm saying this because my education level was so low. I believe that it took me time to grow, to get to that place, and my IQ level and whatever other people want to call it. And so after I decided to understand more and more and more, like, this is not the life that I want to live. This is not who I want to be. I need a change. That's when I surrendered myself to God, and I asked God in that moment, and I felt the presence of him, and I would never forget it. It was like night and day. I would never forget the presence of God, that I felt him all over me. And I said, God, I don't know you. I know of you. And I want to change. I want to be better. I want to grow. I need to, get myself together. I've suffered already enough. I suffered so much. I suffered. I just suffered. You know, you can tell a person what to do and how they need to do it, but if a person's mind is not there and they've been through so much, you can't expect them to be this person that they never even knew of, because they so deep into who they are now and what they've been through. So it took a long time for me to understand myself, and it took a long time for me to wake up and to realize that I am valuable, I am loved, and I am somebody. I don't have to take anything. So anyway, I sat there and I talked to God, and I said, I'm going through a lot. I've been through a lot. I suffered enough. I'm tired. I want to move forward in my life. I don't want to be in this place anymore. I can't do it. And in that moment, I felt the presence of him all around me. It even just blew my head back for a little bit. And I was like, wow, it was such an amazing experience. I've never felt that in my life ever before. And I promise you, even though my life has not been easy since that day, it has been worth it, because God has allowed me to grow and to become somebody that I never knew I could even become. You know how when you have dreams about stuff and visions of who you are, I always had visions and dreams that I was a boss, and this is the mentality I have, and this is who I'm meant to be. But I could never get there because I was so stuck on who I was in that moment. And God spoke to me and told me that this is exactly who you really are. But because you've been broken, because you've been going through these things, you need to heal from this so you can be exactly who you are. This right now, this brokenness, this is not who you are. This is what you experience. I'm who you are. Come search me. Come find me. Come look for me. Come for me, and I will show you who you really are. And God did that for me. And so between all of the abuse, the molestation, the confusion of if I'm into girls or if I'm into boys, not being able to read, not being able to comprehend, not being able to understand, I went through, it's so much more. It's so much more. But you know what? I'm grateful because God brought me through. And even though sometimes I went back, God was explaining to me that you cannot go back into old ways with a new mentality. You just can't do it, Courtney. You can't do it. I already delivered you from this. Don't go back. And God is telling us we cannot go back to what has hurt us. We have to move forward. My problem was I just want to be there for everybody. I just want to help everybody. I just want to love everybody. I want to show love even if you hurt me, because I ain't always been a good person. So I would want to be able for people to show me love even though if I hurt them. But that's not everybody's story. So I just felt like trying to go back. You can't. Whatever God deliver you from, you keep moving forward. You do not go back to it. It's a reason why he brought you out of that. It's a reason why you on another level. It's a reason why you outgrown that person. Your life is not always meant to stay with people that's been in the past, because you're no longer broken anymore. So why do you need to be around broken people when you were broken in the first place? But God has now healed you. You're not broken anymore. So why don't you want to elevate to who you really are? Because when you broken and you around broken people, that's just temporary, but that is not who you are. That is a symptom of what you experience. Good God, thank you, Jesus. Good God of mercy. That is just a symptom of what you experience, but God is about to take you on a ride of your life. God is about to tell you, and he's about to reveal to you exactly who you are in Christ. So family, if you out there, you battling with your sexuality, you don't know who you are, you haven't been able to read, whatever your circumstance is, whatever you've been through in your life, understand that if you give it to God, he's going to show you the real you. People can talk about you all day. Oh, she's scammed. Oh, she did this. She's not a good person. It's a reason why you done the things that you did. And most of the time, it doesn't make you a bad person. It just means that you never healed from things that you needed to heal from, that traumatized you, or that, gave you that anxiety, or whatever the case may be. So I'm calling out right now, because it was Jesus' blood that did it for us. that allowed us to no longer be in bondage. So everybody that's watching this video, I'm calling whatever spirit that's in you right now, that I rebuke that. I rebuke any confusion, any confliction of what your sexuality is. Anything that's within you that is not who you are, I rebuke it in the name of Jesus. And I pray right now that God, that you open up your heart and allow God to let you receive the blessings that he has for you, and to receive the real you. Because God will reveal that to you in due time. Everything takes time. We have to learn and we have to grow. And we're going to always be doing that for the rest of our lives. So my testimony is my testimony. Your testimony may be different, but that does not mean that God love you less or more. It means that because God loves us so much, that he's going to nurture us and build us back exactly who we need to be, who we are, who we truly are. Because you've experienced a symptom in your life, but that is not your forever. Look at me. I dealt with so much, and I've grown. I've grown to be this woman that I always dreamed about, that I always fantasized about, but I'm becoming this woman of courageousness. But that's who God is. There's no limitations on God. He's courageous. He's powerful. Family, you hold the power. Use it. I love you, family. I want you guys to like, comment, share if you can. Add me. I have a TikTok, Facebook, Instagram. Everything is going to be in my bio. Listen, it's not too late for you. I don't care who you are, how old you are. It's not too late. Because this is your season now to take back everything that the enemy tried to tell you, that the enemy stole from you. You are free from bondage. You are free from sin. You can live the life that God has for you in purpose. It's okay to be different. It's okay to not want to hang out and kick it and smoke and all of that, because God doing something else. God mustering up something else for you. And in order for you to get to exactly where you need to be, you gotta trust God. I backslided so many times. I was so inconsistent so many times with God. Like, I will give my life to God, then I'll go back out and do something crazy. I'll give my life back to God, go out and do something crazy. And to this day, he speaks to me. He tells me that I am protecting you. You are covered. You are my daughter. You are my daughter. And the fact that he still speaks to me and tell me how much he loved me and tell me how much he gonna protect me and that he's going to keep me under him, that means so much more than anything in this world to me. You can have whatever else that you want. You can have it. As long as I got God and I keep striving to be like him, that is my priority. Even when I get distracted, that is still my priority. And God loves me so much. Things that try to come and destroy me, I promise you, I don't even get to see it. God, I don't even get to see it. That's how much God loves us all. Not just me, all of us. His mercy and his grace is over our lives, family. Seriously. And even when it don't seem like a blessing, it's a blessing. He's trying to block something. You want something so bad, but God don't want that for you, because he knows what that's going to bring you. So he's protecting you by keeping it away from you. He's protecting you by keeping it away from you. So to you, you may seem like, oh, this ain't right. But it is right, because it's God's way. It's not your way. It tells us in his word that his way and the way he think is not what we think, and it's not our way. God see everything. He hears conversations that you're not even in places to hear. He see people reactions when you're not around. He know how people talk about you and treat you behind your back. He know that. You don't, he do. So listen, This is simply to encourage you. I told myself, I'm like, I'm not getting on here and doing this, but you know why? I'm going to do it. I'm going to testify any time of the week, day, hour, second. I don't care, because God has been there for me in ways I can't even explain. I can't even tell y'all all of the things that he has done for me and protected me and covered me from and forgiven me time and time, and when I did the same thing over and over and over and over. But that goes to show how much he loves us and that he is not going to change on us. And that's why I love God so much. He is in my heart. Like, real talk, he's in my heart, family. He wants your heart. If he can get your heart, everything, I promise you, it will change. Just give God a chance. We give these guys and these girls that we in relationship chances and say, oh, okay, this person they not together. I'ma keep staying with you just to make sure. But we keep giving other people chances that don't even deserve the chance. But the person, the source that really deserved the chance, the one to make us better, we can't even give him a second though. We gotta give God a second. We gotta give him a chance. Just like we give man a chance. Man can't do nothing. They can't do anything for us without God. They can't. We can't do nothing without God. So family, I love y'all, man. And I want y'all to be encouraged. I don't care what people say about you. I don't care what your life used to look like. God don't care about that. God only cares about who you are and what you want to do moving forward. He will change your name just like he changed everybody's name in the Bible. Period. Period. Saul. He is an example. He killed everybody. Everybody that he seen. Everybody. Everybody. But then what? He encountered what? God. And when he encountered God, what happened? Change. Glory. When he encountered God, change. His whole perspective of people in the church and the synagogues is what they called it. Changed. Completely. Changed. Peter encountered with God. Changed. Paul. Changed. His name was changed too, Paul. Changed. There's movement in God, family. He love you. I love you, but God love you. For real. For real. I love y'all too, but God love y'all on another level. So family, I hope this encouraged you to be the best version of yourself, and that whoever you used to be in your past, it does not matter, because God is not looking for that. God is looking for your heart. And as long as you allow him to reach your heart, change will come. I love you, family.